Pasko'y dumarating, may taglay na pag-ibig ang simoy ng hangin. Laging nasasabihin sa iyong pagtingin, ang puso kong uhaw sa tunay mong pag-ibig. Ang puso kong pag-ibig mo ay matatamo. Nais kong pamasko ay ang alaala mo. Pag-ibig mo ay matatamo sa buong isang taon. Minsan lang ang Pasko, nais kong pamasko ay ang alaala mo. Nais kong pamasko ay ang alaala mo.
Wow, that was so magical.
Merry
Yes.
Christmas.
Merry Christmas to us all.
Merry Christmas.
Merry
It sets the
Christmas.
mood somehow. It sets the mood somehow.
Yes.
Yes, it did. It did.
Yes.
And I guess it was also nostalgic for you guys.
It
I'm
is
feeling
indeed.
nostalgic.
Yes. I noticed while the video was being played, both of you were wearing smiles all throughout, and I would be very curious to hear about your past experiences, but of course we'll save that for later on. We have much time anyway. So thank you so much. Again, that was a beautiful song. And hi there to all our viewers who are watching, and welcome back. You know, last time we actually had a young artist, a budding artist with us by the name of Alyssa Catherine. And it's so admirable that at a young age, she already discovered her passion for music and has continued to use music in order to express herself freely and to inspire people as well. But that was last time, and today we have some other special guests. But before we introduce them to you guys, mabuhay and good evening. I am Sam.
Good afternoon to the other parts of the world. I am Anton.
Good morning, Chao An. I'm Nina.
Okay, and it's such a blessing that we have two guests again. So
Yes.
there's a lot to talk about.
Yes.
Who are they, Kuya Anton?
Okay. The group evolved from an all-male singing group from San Beda College called the Minstrels. The New Minstrels, which officially started in 1973, is a versatile group performing rhythm and blues, disco hits, swing, Broadway classics, to local Filipino songs during the 70s. They were under Villar Records and came up with 7 long-playing albums, including hit adaptations, and finally in 1975, after interpreting the song Buhat for the FAMAS Awards that year, it became such a big hit that Villar Records produced a Kundiman LP for the New Minstrels, which started the OPM trend in Philippine music. The group is made up of Louis Reyes, Annette Belen, Eileen Dolina Novak, Mailing Gozum, Aida Balmaceda, Eugene Villaluz, Ding Mercado, Ray Anfuentes, Cesar de la Fuente, Vic Baclagon, and Rene Puno. Another important member of the group is their longest-standing musical director, Babes Conde, who has been responsible for many of their vocal and musical arrangements. The 70s is considered as the generation with the most sophisticated taste in fashion, dining, music, clubbing, and the right places to be in. And some years back, the group has been doing reunions with other bands to stay in touch with all friends throughout the world and relive those experiences, fun times, and memories that were shared by all during the 70s. We have with us here in muSiCahAn 2 members from the original batch, Miss Louie Reyes and Mr. Dean Mercado.
Woo! Welcome!
Good evening, good morning,
Hi.
good
Good evening.
afternoon to everyone.
Yes.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah, Sam and Nina, if I may, before we ask our guests about their group, I would just like to ask them and to know a little bit of your life stories before you
Mm,
joined and formed the New Minstrels, Miss Louie and
mm,
Brother Dean.
Oh, well, I had a group, a three-member group, all girls. We called it Babsy, Chip, and Louie. That's before the New Minstrels, and we discovered each other because we were all in the College of Music of our
Mm.
school, College of the Holy. Spirit. So I think I've been in music all the time. Nothing else really except music.
How about Brother Dean?
Okay, I was discovered by a manager who was forming a group when I was performing for the De La Salle Chorale. As a matter of fact, I met Louis initially when we did a joint Holy Spirit and La Salle Chorale concert way back in 19. Should I mention it, Louis?
Go ahead.
1971 or 72, I think. Anyway, from there, I joined the Progeny, and Progeny became, instead of just a singing group of 8 singers, including the elder brother of Nonne Zuniga, si Zion. No? He was with me. And I think when Renos wanted a band to perform for them, and our manager at that time was Zeni Tajonera, I gave the name Sangkatutak Band. So the original Progeny became the Sangkatutak Band. And I think towards midway of my tenure with the Sangkatutak Band, Ivy Violan joined us. And then when I left, I was pirated by the New Minstrels.
Pirate.
which is fine. It was my choice anyway to be pirated. Anyway, so it was Richard Merck who took my position with Sankatutak Band. And because I saw the future of the new minstrels, because they're more the kind of music that I would like to do. And of course, the people that of course I met Louis and Annette Belen, because I was also with the Bayanihan Dance Company,
Mm.
and Annette was a singer for the Bayanihan then. That's where we met. So basically, that's it. So I knew two people already then with the new minstrels, and I love their repertoire, especially when the four girls do their um, song. What's this? Sunday morning, waking up and touch.
Oh,
Para kayong mga electric fan, sabay-sabay kayo gumaganyan. Oh,
And
sorry,
also our
Nina.
boogie.
They they're like electric fan, four of them moving all together while doing the song. No, we really I we were our signature was every time we go on a set, for example, we do a gig in a nightclub or a show, we do 2 or 3 sets. We always change costume for the next set.
Oh, yeah.
So we started that trend. So
So
we were
whether it was yeah, whether it was a tight club, disco club, whatever, in whatever environment we were in, we never failed to change 3 times. What is
Wow,
was
three
really,
times.
so people were
and
so
we
mesmerized with us because we were all glamour that time.
yeah.
Wow, amazing. You know, from the opening video that we had for this episode just earlier, I noticed that you were wearing these loose pants. Is that what you call bell bottom by any chance?
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
not sure about the terminology,
Yeah.
but is it bell bottom?
I mean, yeah,
I just
that's
I just have to
yes.
confirm. Oh,
Well,
right.
there was from palazzo pants to bell bottom.
Oh,
It's basically more or less in that era. Nina, can you relate to this, Nina?
Not quite.
Present, present.
I see. Because it looks a bit similar to the pictures that I've seen, and I used to look into our family albums a lot, and I've seen a
Oh,
lot of my father's younger pictures, and he used to wear a lot of those denim pants that were loose
Bang
at the
bang, to be
bottom.
exact. Bang bang.
bang
Bang
bang.
bang.
Yeah, bang
Oh,
bang.
I see. Interesting. Okay.
That was on brand. That was on.
Oh, wow, that was splendid. Well, thank you so much for sharing. And well, since you started talking about the new minstrels, anyway, after learning about the group that you had, I tried to do a little research on the name minstrels, and you have a couple of definitions you would find online, or if you read a book about it. And one of the definitions would be that minstrels comes from the Middle Ages. Well, of course, you're not one of those because you don't belong to that age. But it's very interesting that there is a variety of definition for this particular term. And in the Middle Ages, as you may know, it would usually refer to heroism and nobility, right? It was very serious during those dark ages. But later on in the 19th and 20th centuries, you started to have more stage entertainment and comical routines. So, for our first set of questions, which one are you? If you were to define yourselves as minstrels, would you consider your music to be more on the heroic side, the noble side, or would you consider yourselves to be hopeless romantics? And would you be comical in this way?
All of the above.
I think yes, and I
Great.
think we also had a wide audience. It's because we didn't try to really limit ourselves to just one style. We were singing everything, and that's why
Mhm.
the people sometimes couldn't really place us. Are they a rock band? Are they an R&B band? What it is? But we were singing everything. We were singing everything from Filipino native Sundimans and Broadway musical theater stuff, and we would sing disco stuff and R&B. And so I think we were there really to enjoy the music ourselves, in the same way that we wanted our audience to enjoy the music that we gave them. So we were
And
heroes in our
Mm.
play.
we were a
Wow.
show. We were a show band.
Mm-hmm.
And for us, in the 70s, there were like nightclubs or supper clubs,
Mhm.
which doesn't
Oh.
exist anymore.
Yeah.
And
Oh.
during the 70s, they had dinner shows in all these five-star hotels. And you have to have a show, not a disco sort of repertoire, to be able to perform in a dinner club.
Mhm.
Right. So it
So,
was high
so
class. Mm.
Yes, in a way, yes,
Mm.
because it like the top of the Hilton, or the La
Yeah.
Concha at the Hyatt, or the
Mm.
the El Castellano at the Intercon.
Mhm.
And
Mm.
our
Very
shows
interesting.
not only in Manila,
Mm.
because we performed in Hong Kong for Rama Hotel. We performed in Tokyo at the Keio Plaza Hotel. We performed in Malaysia at the Rasa Sayang Hotel, which is now the Shangri-La. And we also performed in Singapore, of course, at Goodwood Park Hotel, at the Main Court Hotel. We love Singapore. We were all over Asia.
And we
Yes.
were a complete package because we will do a
Mm.
1 hour showcase for
Mm.
people to watch. And then after that,
Mm.
we will do 2 sets of dance
Mhm.
music. So that's why
Mm.
people go for a show and to have fun and do their dancing in those days. And for us to be
Wow.
able to accumulate 7 long playing albums in a span of 4 years, that
Mhm.
is a feat that I think no other group in the Philippines did.
Mm. So I'm curious, what was your edge? How did you have that many achievements?
We started a trend. Basically, we were like the fashion icons of the 70s because in those days it was martial law
Yeah.
and there was travel ban
Mm.
and nobody
Mm.
could travel. And the
Mm.
exposure basically is we were like Philippines like in a nutshell. And we were going out and we were bringing in of course, the fashion of Singapore, the cigarette pants. We were the first ones to wear them here. And there was no internet then, so people
Yeah.
couldn't see what was happening outside. It's
Mm.
basically what
Mm.
is fed in the newspapers and the magazines are the only ones that people
Mhm.
Mm.
see. And we will
Mm.
be able
Mm.
we saw a lot more of the world as compared to
Wow,
what the
that's
people
amazing.
were
Yeah.
exposed to during those days.
Yeah.
We were
Mm.
Very.
traveling a lot. We were
Mm.
bringing in the good things from abroad, and we
Mhm.
were cultivating our own because we did not forget our Filipino music too.
Mhm.
And when we did Filipino
Mm.
music in our attires, so
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
initially,
Mm.
the first couple of years, people were saying, masyado kaming class daw
Mhm.
yung
Yeah.
music namin, no? That's why
Mm.
even, I mean, if I may say so, even some of the big superstars then were kind of intimidated interviewing us because
Mm.
they will be forced to speak in good English, that sort of thing. But we wanted to be um, appealing to the rest of the spectrum of audience from
Mm. Mhm.
EDC, but because of the taste of music, we do Broadway. Who
Yeah.
appreciates Broadway? Only the A and B
Oh.
market. And we will do
Oh.
like blues, jazz, that sort of
Mhm.
thing, and classic.
Yes.
And we even did an album of like Once in a While and um,
standards.
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 Standard.
Mm.
What were the songs there, Louis? Once in a While, Somewhere Over the Rainbow,
Oh, I,
Oh,
I'm in the mood for
beautiful.
love.
I'm in the Mood for Love,
Oh.
Moonlight Serenade.
So we yes, so we
Mhm.
catered both to the young and to the old.
You captured everyone, in other words. Mm.
Right.
Wow. Oh, I'm just curious, guys, because I would like to know how were musicians or how were artists treated during the martial law?
We were
Yeah.
kings and queens
Wow. Okay.
because remember,
Yes.
remember, remember, our first lady then
Mm.
promoted Philippine music,
Yeah.
Mhm.
and
Yes.
that was the start. I think she was the one who said that in 1 hour of radio
Mhm.
program there has to be a local artists.
Yeah.
That
Right,
started
right.
the trend.
Three local
Correct.
artists.
Mm.
And of course, we had curfew passes. So we
Mm.
can
Oh.
travel even during curfew. We
Oh,
had the
okay, okay.
privilege of performing at the presidential yacht in Malacanang. So
Palace too.
we, we, we had a wonderful time.
Yes.
Wow.
Discriminated? No way. We were
Far from it.
always
Far from it.
we were we were always whisked by the first lady from a club we were performing at. If she's
Right.
entertaining maybe a dignitary from overseas,
Mhm.
and oh, I
Mm.
have to have the new minstrels. Oh, the
Mm.
Metrocom will be picking us up to be
Right.
performing at wherever
Right.
venue
Wow. Wow.
they will bring us.
That's a good point because now I suddenly
Mm,
remembered about why we have CCP in the first place, and that was because of
exactly.
the first lady during the Marcos regime. Hmm.
She promoted the arts,
Mm.
Yes.
Philippine arts.
Yes. Correct. Correct. Wow. What do you think, Kuya Anton?
Yeah, and it's a very interesting era, right? And considering that bands were formed back in the 70s, where curfew was prevalent under martial law, we salute
Hmm.
we salute you for bringing life through music to the hot, humid curfew evenings. And I'm very grateful to be a part of that golden era where the top tunes feel incredibly diverse, both in sound and content. There are dance oriented topics, but also ideas about a better world, about breaking free, about drugs, about superstition, not to mention the songs we aren't sure about at all. And also because we were influenced by Western music, some of our singers and music, as what Jo Marie mentioned in our previous episode, started with cousins of the singers and cousins of these songs. And with the fusion of different genres of music now, how would you compare music in the 70s to the music of the millennials and iGeners or Gen Z? And what makes music of the 70s timeless and meaningful?
Louis?
Miss Louie?
We were children of the 70s, and so we loved the music and the times that we were living in. The music of the 70s was so incredible because they had wonderful lyrics and wonderful melodies. And the melodies and the lyrics are so nicely coordinated that they have lasted the test of time. So the music of the 70s, we can say, were like the standards of the 40s
Mm, yeah.
because they have lived on. While, well, I can say, what can I say about the new music now? There's a lot of um, things I think that I am trying to look for. Maybe more content in the melodies, in the lyrics
Mm,
also, because they tend to be so exclusive. You don't really understand what they're trying to say with their lyrics. And then with the music, also sometimes it's just beats, nothing really lyrical and melodic. So I am not quite happy about that. But just like even in classical music, we go through stages. That's why we have the Baroque era, we have the Renaissance, we have you know. So I suppose this is just one stage or one
mhm.
phase of music. Pass on and it will improve, hopefully. I'm looking forward to that.
I guess the music of the
Mm.
70s, they're both lyrical, they're profound. There's, I don't know how will you explain to Nina Hugot, May Hugot.
It's a deep.
Oh.
Uh,
There.
Oh.
Okay,
How do we translate that?
it's a theater term that we use. Like, for example,
Mm.
for an actor to come up with the emotions that is needed, you have to think
Mm.
of something that happened to you, something
mhm,
painful for you to cry. So you
Mm.
pull it out from there. Hugot means
Right.
pulling it out from an
Yes.
experience you had. Okay, songs in the
Right.
70s
Or
were, if you'll notice that the music now is basically rhythmic and it's all vocal calisthenics.
mm,
It's either hataw. Hataw is basically singing at the top of your voice. that sort of thing. It's no in feeling that you feel when you sing the song. See, like,
Heart,
can you imagine?
heart.
It's
Yeah.
And the
like
soul.
Michel Legrand, Stephen Sondheim, that sort of thing. It's
Mm.
different, you see, and that's why people revive these songs. I don't
Mm.
know.
Right.
Maybe by the time they will be
Mm.
reviving the songs of 2010, we will already be dead, right? But I
Mm.
don't know how they will revive it.
Mm.
Right. Right.
Maybe,
Right.
maybe make it into a ballad. I don't know.
Yeah,
You see,
either sing it as is,
as is.
the same type.
If you notice, like
Mm.
Earth, Wind, and Fire, even the people now, young kids, still appreciate that kind of music.
Mm.
Why? Because
Right.
Mm.
it's
And we sing it up to now.
Yes,
yeah, yeah,
yes.
and we still sing it up. And every
Mm.
time we sing it, even the young go, "Wow, that is the music of the '70s. It's different."
Mm. True,
Yeah,
true.
it goes right to your heart.
Exactly.
Mm.
Or maybe it's our generation.
I
There's that
I
That's
option
good.
I
too.
disagree. I disagree.
There you
Well,
go.
well, how about you, Kuya Anton? Because Kuya Anton does a lot of beautiful cover songs,
Oh,
and I think he's a songwriter too, right? Right, Kuya. So, what
trying
can
to
you say
be.
about your? I'm promoting you here.
Yeah.
Who knows?
No,
Who knows? The new minstrels might take you in.
Yeah.
no, because I hear so many good
Oh, yeah.
music before because my uncle we have 78. I don't know if you still know 78s and 45s and LPs. So
Oh.
Brother Ding. No, my uncle always play classical music like um, from the classical movies and also the 40s and 50s music. So I hear a lot from them. So I my covers are Moonlight Serenade, Moon River, and Frank Sinatra songs, and also
Mm,
Christmas.
Timeless.
Yeah, timeless songs.
mm,
That's why I'm also having hugot, like Brother Ding said. Yes, it's
right.
really it's amazing. It's really from the heart when you want to sing
Mm,
some songs like that. It's really beautiful era.
mm. Wow. And
And
yes, and we are going to hear more of that. Yes.
Yes,
Yes,
Miss
ma'am.
Louie.
why can't they make you happy? The lyrics always talk about good things,
Mm,
while now
Mm,
some lyrics are so dark and so really scary, and
yeah,
we want to be lifted up by music. We do.
mm, mm.
that's why
And
Right.
I choose some songs which have good lyrics and inspirational.
Right.
and
Mm-hmm.
and
Mm.
sometimes they even get away with the swearing.
Yes,
Mm,
I was thinking of that
It's
right now.
shocking.
Yeah,
It's shocking.
exactly.
Huh? Wow.
True. I must agree. I mean, I do belong to the generation of millennials, but whenever I hear rap songs or modern songs that involve a lot of swearing, I don't understand
yeah,
why we have to include those. It almost feels like they are encouraging those to the youth or to the next generation,
Exactly.
which should not be. So I highly agree with that.
there had to
Hmm.
be censorship also.
It should
Hmm.
be. It should be. And also the
Hmm.
difference is, if
Yeah.
I may say so, like in the '70s when we sang Kundiman, our music coach was very strict about pronouncing the Tagalog words correctly. So in a lot of countries like Japan and even in China, it's the priority is not the melody but the lyric. So sometimes they have to adjust the melody to the way you will say the
Mm,
word. So in a way you protect the language. But nowadays I could hear a lot of Tagalog songs composed and it doesn't go with the way they wrote the melody with the word.
mm,
So and in the end that will be the benchmark of people they think that it's correct, which is
Hmm.
actually wrong.
yeah.
I highly agree with you on that. Oh my gosh. I'm so glad
It's
that you're
amazing. It's
mentioning these
amazing.
points. Mm.
Even church songs,
Mm.
for that
Sometimes.
matter. Sometimes,
Yes.
Yes.
what? So So, like, especially, I was gone for 20 years. I lived abroad for 20 years. Coming back, and then you hear Tagalog songs sung like that. So, from my generation of Filipino, Balarila, and Panitikan,
Yeah.
it's totally different.
Mm. So with choirs, we are trained to pronounce the words properly.
Mm-mm.
Right.
Yeah, discipline.
You're right.
It's all discipline.
If you listen to our
True.
albums, if you listen, if you listen to our albums, our lyrics are all correctly pronounced.
Mhm.
We were taught, and we appreciated it because the more you sing it correctly, the more you appreciate the song.
You have the full meaning of the song.
Exactly. Otherwise, it makes you feel, there's something wrong here. So you don't feel it anymore because you heard something wrong.
And you won't listen to it anymore.
That's correct. Especially the first couple of phrases.
Mm.
If there's something wrong already, it's a turn off.
Can I just
Okay.
share something?
Sure,
Okay,
Sure,
go
Nina.
on.
sure.
I told you my alma mater in Singapore is the Convent of the Holy Infant Jesus and Town Convent, right? And that is where Chimes now is. And the nuns were very, very strict, right? Especially with regards to pronunciation. So we even had a little pocket mirror, right?
Mm.
And we had to pronounce the
Yes.
words clearly, right? So even now,
Right.
so I totally understand where you're coming from. And so your T's, your D's, everything must be very clear, right? There is not this garbled language that we call English or whatever. Everything must be clear and distinct. That's why the nuns always said, when you go out or when you just open your mouth, everybody should know you come from a convent school by the way
Right.
you speak and by the way you move. So,
Correct.
very strict discipline. And
Yeah.
I think nowadays when we tell it to the youngsters, they say, huh, why so strict, huh? Right? And I used to teach English, and it was so funny because it was teaching in a neighborhood school, and then I said, pull your socks up, and then they literally pulled their socks up, right? So it's very interesting that how you can't blame them because in their backgrounds, at their home backgrounds, it's first time they heard pull your socks up, so they literally did that. But I would just say that the insistence of proper diction, proper pronunciation is always so important, and I hope that discipline will come back again, right? So I'm
Yes.
really thinking and mentioning to Kuya Anton and Sam, I said, I would like to see the revival of the new minstrels to bring back the era of glamour and beauty. So that people know that when you're doing sets of music, you change costumes, right? I'm very happy because I was very fortunate when I was young. I did piano at 6, ballet at 6 to 14, and violin at 10 years old. So, from the ballet background, we were really taught very well about the meaning of proper demeanor and posture and all these things. Yeah.
Posture is
And
very
I would
important.
think that if I would compare my training from ballet and compared to violin and piano, I would say ballet school was much more demanding. Everything, right? How you dress, how you pointed your toes, everything, it was really very focused and clear cut. And if they were, harsh towards us, it was because of the training. It was nothing personal. But if you did not point your toes or you did not have the correct turnout, it was wrong. Right? And so that's why when you mentioned about singing, pronunciation, the nuns did the same. So I mean, people say, "Oh, that's so old school." Right? Yeah. Why must you do
I
this?
think
Why must you be disciplined? Why can't you be carefree and all that? But it leads to a loss of standards, right? A loss of excellence. I mean, so when you speak properly, when you see somebody, so I would have this funny story that people say that, oh, sometimes first date, the guy sees the girl, and then so she's so beautiful, so glamorous, and then she said, how are you? I'm okay. Singapore style. Then I think the guy might would just say, if they went to a top 5-star restaurant, so what we like to eat, anything can, right?
It's really a privilege to belong to the old school
Yes.
because we
Correct.
learned it,
So
even if it's the hard way, but it's, I think, the correct way,
yeah,
if you ask me. I teach at John Robert Powers, so I
Mm.
know about posture. I teach um, um, social and business etiquette. I teach that at and power dressing and visual poise. So because of my ballet, I took 3 years of ballet
yes,
as
Oh,
well. So there you go.
correct.
Hmm.
So you
That's
can see
right.
that the dance background is very important. And thank you, Miss Louis and Ding, with for coming on this program and showing to the young
Pleasure.
Filipinos the glamour and timelessness of the 70s.
and also
Yes, thank
during
you.
those
Pleasure.
times, teleprompters and idiot boards weren't born yet, right? So
Yes.
when you step on the stage,
You know
you
what
have
you're doing.
yeah, you know the
Yeah,
lyrics, you know everything, so the audience will understand you.
The discipline.
Mm.
And I think, like you were talking about our success of the new minstrels, we really worked hard. 3
Mm.
times we had voice classes. 3 times a week we had dance and choreography.
Mm,
We just had to be perfect what we were doing. Especially we were not just performing in Manila, but we were performing in many parts of the world.
mm,
So we were carrying also an image with us.
yes.
And now also I will relate. Ding said he's teaching. I'm also teaching voice right now. And I have students who would want to sing rock or metal or punk or what, and I said, and there are cuss words there. My first question is, do your parents allow you to sing this? And they usually answer, they don't know that I sing this. Well, I'd like to let you know that I don't quite approve of this kinds of songs. Or if you insist, let me talk to your mother the next time you come around, and I'm going to ask if it's all right with them. Because there are so many choices for songs. I mean,
Mm.
millions of songs. Why do you even choose this trash? I
And they're
mean,
paying the
really,
bill.
there's no,
They're the parents are paying
no,
the
but
bill,
no,
right?
really, sometimes we really just have to make them realize that it doesn't really add to their persona at all.
Exactly,
In fact,
exactly.
it just
Mm.
Not at all.
no,
Not at
really.
all. Not at all.
Wow. Well, thank you so much for your wisdom. I'm learning a lot from your era. Speaking of profound meaning in the music of the 70s, I believe you have prepared another piece of music for us today. So, can we hear more about it? Could you please give us a description of it?
If I may add, prior to the sharing of the
Yes,
music, we really
sure.
worked hard because we had a vocal coach, we had a director in all our shows. As a matter of fact, the Johnny Manahan was our director. Our musical director was Ryan Kayabyab and Babes Conde. And we had choreographers. So in all our stints, our gigs, everything is produced, everything is choreographed, everything is directed.
On point.
Who composed Buhat, Louis? Sinong composer ng Buhat?
Oh my gosh, I'm sorry, I don't know who composed Wuhan.
Senior
But
moment.
yeah,
And
I
Google also has senior moments because I cannot find it.
You know, all the while,
see.
Oh, mm.
Anton thought that it was Rico Puno who composed Buhat
Yes. No, no, no.
No, it
The
was
Oh,
just
original singer.
before he was born.
that's right. Exactly, exactly,
That's why I
exactly.
was surprised. It was in the 40s or 50s.
Right. So this was another surprise
40s yan.
for our Manila audience because we were singing in the 70s. This was around 72, 73, anywhere from 72 to 75. And we sang this song. And people thought, what is this song? It was a song from the 40s, from one of the movies of the olden times. And and it it took like a fresh approach to romance and um, friendship and all that, which
Kundiman.
Yeah, exactly. So they were sweet and lovely. They did not expect it from a group like us because we were singing everything from rock to R&B to Broadway to whatever. And then suddenly we came up with this.
Okay.
And it was meant to be just for that television
Oh.
show for Fama's Awards. But since it was such a big hit, Villar decided to release it as an album, as a single,
And
rather.
more Tagalog songs.
Followed after.
Ooh, okay. So let's take a look, guys. And here is Buhat.
Tulad ng pinangyarihan nang tayo'y magtanaw. Takot lamang ay di mo pakinggan, ngunit ang katotohanan kita'y minamahal. Buhat nang kita'y masilayan, buhat nang mapanagimba. Hinahanap at inaasam, giliw ay damhin niya ring pagmamahal at magbuhat nang makita ka lamang. Masdan ko'y karikan, dulo ay sadyang kaligayahan na nagbuhat sa'yo buhay niya ring buhay. Hinahanap at inaasam, giliw ay damhin niya ring pagmamahal at magbuhat nang makita ka lamang. Bawat masdan ko'y karikan, dulo ay sadyang kaligayahan na nagbuhat sa'yo buhay niya ring
Wow, that's a lot to take in. I'm sure the new minstrels have a lot more to say to us, but we can wait for that in part 2 with the new minstrels. You know what? I truly appreciated what Sir Ding and Miss Louis mentioned when they both emphasized the importance of lyricism, enunciation, good posture, proper atmosphere, the profound meaning of the text, and the overall discipline required during the rehearsal phase until the actual performance on stage, because with all these qualities combined, you could actually create the best quality performance the audience could ever hope to see. And it's true that these qualities represent the beauty of the music of the 70s. And it's definitely something that the young generation of today could learn from. Yes, it is true. Music is highly subjective, and that is primarily because we are constantly affected by environmental factors, including our family upbringing and our peers. Also, we are greatly affected by the culture of our own time period as well, which therefore means psychological bias in our musical preferences is unavoidable. But that's totally fine. Because, there's no right or wrong about music, and that's the beauty of art. The most important thing about music, though, is that you are open and honest, and that the music you choose truly represents who you are. While some people choose opera music, others would choose pop music. And while some people choose jazz and Broadway, others would choose heavy metal rock music. I, for one, do not appreciate heavy metal, but I wouldn't call it noise, and I would still consider it as a type of music or a musical style because I acknowledge that it is a type of language for a specific group of people. Yes, it is loud. Yes, it's forte and fortissimo all throughout. And yes, they use words that I do not understand most of the time. But I believe that there is a certain group of people who would appreciate this type of music because this is something that represents who they are as a person. And I respect that. So, going back to the music of the 70s, I really liked that the new minstrels went so far as to getting themselves a musical director and a dance choreographer to help them become the total package on stage. And it's truly admirable because they have just shown us what it takes to be the absolute performer. So it wasn't enough that you knew how to sing, you had to learn how to dance, you had to learn how to act, and you needed to know each line perfectly before and during the actual performance. So kudos to you guys, and thank you so much for the inspiration. But to be fair, the Millennial and Gen Z period also have their own set of beautiful music which they too could enjoy because of their lyricism and profundity of text. Take, for example, Transformers. In this film, the band Goo Goo Dolls, which was originally formed back in 1989, was able to perform their song Before It's Too Late. Now, this song was included in the soundtrack of Transformers back in 2007, and this song primarily talks about how it's important that we learn to love ourselves and that we learn to accept ourselves for who we are. And later on, it is also important that we learn to love others and to accept love from other people. Aside from that, another good example would be 1,000 years from the popular film Twilight Breaking Dawn, which was shown in 2011 and 2012.
I have died every day waiting for you. Darling, don't be
in this particular film, or in this particular song, it's quite clear, even from the title itself, A Thousand Years, that the most important thing is love. And that once we experience true love, it is truly boundless. No amount of time could tell how much we love a person, and the most important thing is how much we are willing to sacrifice ourselves to be with the person that we love. Now, aside from those two examples that I've given, we have other popular examples as well, such as in 1989, where we had The Little Mermaid, in 1991, where we had Beauty and the Beast, in 2013 and 2019, where we had Frozen, Part 1 and 2. And who wouldn't know the songs Let It Go and Into the Unknown, both songs that were very powerful because they both taught us how to take courage in loving ourselves and in loving other people.
Tumingin sa aking mata, magtapat ng nadarama, di gustong ika'y mawala, dahil handa akong ibigin ka kung maging tayo, sa'yo lang ang puso ko.
Ba't di pa patulang o pagsuyong na kulang? Tayo umaasang hilag at kanluran. Ikaw ang handugan at bilang kanlungan mo, ko ang sasagip sa'yo.
Now, it's really important to note that the reason why we highly revere music of the 70s and even music from the 40s and way back is because our music today wouldn't have progressed if it weren't for the discipline and the beauty of the music from the past. For example, there wouldn't be music such as Broadway if there wasn't opera in the first place. And so, no matter how traditional music of the 70s could be, there is a lot to learn, and we are truly proud of it.
How about you, Kuya Anton? What do you think?
Oh, well, during the 70s music era, as what Miss Louie and Brother Ding has mentioned, the entertainers definitely experienced a lot of values when it comes to discipline in the performing arts, and they really stand as role models. And it is in that era when original Filipino music made a mark in the music industry, with festivals and organizing competitions to encourage new talents, singers and composers alike, with professionals and amateur divisions. And I believe our viewers were inspired with their sharing and with their experiences in that era, with that golden era. So what do you think, Nina?
Wow. Thanks so much, Sam and Kuya Anton. You know what brought me back? It brought me back to my younger days, and to see that Serding actually did shows for SBC, Singapore Broadcasting Company, I remember seeing him also with the Baha'inan dancers. So, and it really brought me back to those days, and I really admired the singers of old in that what he had shared about them, having the discipline of not only having a vocal coach, then they also had to do dancing and choreography, and so it was like a complete package, and also the change of costumes and how quickly they had to learn songs. So I think no teleprompter, even no audio tune or whatever they have in the recording studios now. So you really had to be prepared. So I say kudos to them and the importance of hard work and discipline. But I think the most important, the joy of performing for a live audience, who come to be entertained, to come to be happy in a time when, during dinner and dressing up. And so a time of maybe of glamour and fun and culture. So I would just say thank you, the new minstrels, for bringing back all those memories to us. And so I'd like to just end a quote for all our viewers. And now bless the God of all, who everywhere works great wonders, who fosters our growth from birth and deals with us according to his mercy. May he give us gladness of heart, and may there be peace in our days in Israel and is as in the days of old. May he entrust to us his mercy, and may he deliver us in our days. So from Sirach chapter 50, verse 22 to 24, I would just like to give this blessing to all our viewers at muSiCahAn, and to say to everyone, stay safe and God bless.
Chestnuts roasting on an open fire, Jack Frost nipping at your nose, Yuletide carols being sung by a choir, and folks dressed up like Eskimos. Everybody knows a turkey and some mistletoe help to make the season bright. Tiny tots with their eyes all aglow will find it hard to sleep tonight. They know that Santa's on his way. He's loaded lots of toys and goodies on his sleigh, and every mother's child is gonna spy to see if reindeer really know how to fly. And so I'm offering this simple praise to kids from 1 to 92. Although it's been said many times, many ways, Merry Christmas to you. And so I'm offering this simple phrase to kids from 1 to 92. Although it's been said many times, many ways,